Shalom, shalom, call halal, Yahal Bashem, Yahushua Bashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles at the S. Salutations to the elect. Men, women, and children that believe are the one-third throughout the four corners. Now, what's going on? A major big hype is the passport bros, right? So you got bros just meaning brothers, right? Because Esau and the other nations, mainly Esau, so-called white man, he's been doing this for years, right? But now that Israel is doing it, you so-called blacks, mainly the tribe of Judah, you Negroes in America, maybe even you Benjamites or Levites that's been like westernized here in America, the Southern Kingdom, right? They going to the other side of the world. They going to the Philippines, Thailand, Colombia, South America, all looking for wives or just to deal with a woman, right? I mean, you would think like these women became so bad to deal with and to handle that they would even go over there just to buy some box. Like these women became such a headache that you don't even want to deal with them on the lowest level, even which is prostitution, paying for it. So you can understand. You don't even want to deal with them on that level. So what men did, they got a plane ticket. They got their passport. They got a plane ticket, and they flying 1,500 miles this way across the world, just to find feminine women, right? Or to deal with submissive, humble women. And, that's what, hey, be fruitful and multiply. A lot of things men do and women do is to attract the opposite gender. But it got so bad here in Babylon, which is America. Babylon the Great. This is more wicked than old Babylon, that it's not even wise to, like, you could deal with these women, but like it's so many, like as soon as you deal with them, it's like so much shit you could get hung up in. False accusations, those hurt more than the actual real accusations, right? Domestic violence charges, fuck your job up, fuck your income up, you know, uh, STDs. And what's the main headache from these women is they fucking mouth, they attitude. That hurts just as much as the other shit, dealing with that. So, you in long-term relationships and all this shit dealing with these women. It just came to a point that it's not worth it. And men that are not even spiritual, that don't even know the scriptures, just got fed up and, got tired of it. So they ask you out. Only person that's really dealing with the so-called black woman is these niggas in the street. Thuggo and these hood niggas on the corner doing what they do in that street life. Chad and Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray, so you can understand. And they basically dealing with these women. But the thinking man, the man with his head on his shoulder, either not dealing with these women or they just dealing with the other women here on the soils of America, but other nationalities. The so-called black woman is just being cut off. So this is scripture right here, Jeremiah 16:1. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. And that's true. I mean, it got so bad. Look at the kids. The kids are bugged the fuck out. And your kids is going to be influenced by this world. So you're going to have to fight tooth and nail to try to deprogram them from what the phone is teaching them, from what society is teaching them. And you got to work and shit like that. So it's a chance your kid grows up to be a bug out. to be a weirdo, you know. I even see some of my friends' kids and my family kids. It's like they like, you look into their eyes, they kind of like gone and shit. I mean, they like, it's like they slow. So it's not like how kids was like back in the day. A lot of them suffer from ADD, ADHD, and all these vaccines Esau shooting them up with, on top of them being raised under their mother. So what happened was parenting became easier, right? So before it was hard to become a parent. People would have kids just to say, "Oh, he's cute," like, let me dress him. But soon as that kid begin to talk, soon as that kid be able to walk and talk back to you and say different things, it's like they don't want them no more. They become burden to them. Just like a puppy, right? A Rottweiler or a pit bull is cute when he's small, but once that dog gets older and bigger, he's not cute no more. He becomes a burden. It's like you don't want to deal with him no more. Right, so it's the same thing. So what parents have found out is, oh, I could sit my kid in front of a tablet. I could sit my kid in front of a video game. I could buy him a new Grand Theft Auto, and that will cut his attention span from fucking with me, right? Because the last thing parents want to do is be bothered with the kids. Like, even a lot of these mothers been like, the N-Dub, the black woman, they have killed their children, drove off of cliffs, bridges, and all of that due to the fact that they got tired of being a single mother or just dealing with the kids. The kids came but too agitating. So now they being raised, now they being brought up under the internet. And the internet is influencing them on all their ideas. So they become as smart as hell, but they have no life experiences. And their health is deteriorating. So you got 10-year-old kids with high blood pressure, taking blood pressure pills, with fucking diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and all this because the parents found out I could become a parent a lot easier. Just like a little baby, right? If a baby start crying a lot and you don't want to be bothered, you'll give them a toy. But after a while, they throw that toy down. But they found out the video game, the computer, the urine, the throne that is able to hold their attention a lot longer. It's like, yo, all I gotta do is buy him a new game. Wait till the new Grand Theft Auto come out. You know what I mean? Because kids still sleep off of the Grand Theft Auto 5. They still playing that shit online. And what they keep doing is online you could buy the game. You could buy like upgrades, right? Like they would add boards, they would add a new board. So it's kind of like the new Grand Theft Auto was out because online you could just buy another stage or an extension or something like that. But once they create a whole new like Grand Theft Auto 6 or whatever they call it, that is going to put the whole kid world asleep. So it's not wise to have kids, man. Then they probably, you know, you could do what you want, but the Lord's just saying it's not wise. LGBT, they might get dragged up into that, become straight up weirdos and bug outs. Great friend of mine, he raised his whole family. They all turned into bug outs and weirdos. You know what I'm saying? And they rebelled against him. None of them down with the word, nothing. He tried his best, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? So why give up the sacrifice? You know what I mean? It's best to be selfish in that sense and just focus on yourself and keep your bread and keep your money to yourself. For thus said the Lord concerning the sons and daughters that are born in this place, and concerning the mothers that bear them, and their fathers that begot them in the land, they shall die a grievous death. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried. But they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. So that's the judgment that's coming upon them. Why? Because they wicked. The men here that's wicked. Their mothers is wicked. So this and that. So you gonna take on one of these women and have a kid with them, and she in disagreement with you. She ain't down with the Lord, so she gonna be telling your kid, don't be listening to what your father gotta say, and all that. Then the child support, even though some states starting to favor the men on that, but the child support, the alimony, you see these dudes constantly getting brought through the ring of Dr. Dre and you name them. So I pulled up the commentary on this. This Ellicott commentary, and it says the words came to an Israelite and to a priest with force, which we can hardly understand. With them, marriage and the hopes which it involved was not only happiness but a duty. Right. So people too lazy, parents, fathers, mothers, they too lazy. A lot of the fathers gone under the curses, right? But and probably who ran them away was the mother. But that's another topic. Parents, like it says what? Was not only happiness but duty. That's what people live for. And that's why men don't have no drive, no ambition. They play video games, they watch porn all day, they whack off, and they smoke weed. And weed is an ambition killer. You know what I mean? It sedates you and makes you fucking lazy. So, and that's killing the whole masculine drive right there. So it's just kind of like, yo, these women too much of a headache to deal with. I don't want to be with no woman, so fuck it. I'm going to just stay in this room. And that's what kind of drove men to want to be better, to want to work out, to want to exercise, to want to create inventions, to want to go outside, to want to compete. That was the drive. The Lord said a man loved nothing more than a beautiful woman, just to stare at her, you know what I mean, or to have her around. People give you praise, you know what I mean, just for, pulling a beautiful woman or having a beautiful woman near you. You become the man. People look up to you. People glorify you for being able to do that, right? Then other women want you too, once you're able to do that. Happiness, but a duty, right? To be cut off from it was to renounce both, because that evil was coming on the nation was such as to turn both into a curse. We may compare our Lord's words in Matthew 24:19 and Luke 23:29, which is one of my favorites, and Paul in Corinthians 7:26. So I'm gonna pull this Luke. So it's like to be married is a curse now. I mean, to have children is a curse. I mean, if you have children, you gotta do what you gotta do. But if you don't have children, if you're not married, I wouldn't even say get in a fucking relationship, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But men, gonna do what they do. That's in our biological nature, our biological ways in our biology to seek a woman. So a lot of men like, nah, I still want a family. I still want kids. Like, what's the solution? Well, you got to get you a passport, and you hope you don't got no child support or nothing hanging over your head, because you won't be able to do it. You got to get you a passport, or get out of the rears of your child support, get your passport, and you got to fly 5,000 miles that way. And you better hope the place you're going to is not westernized, because you're going to run into basically Satan. They're going to look a certain way. They're going to be very deceptive, and they're going to fool you. And of course, you don't bring them back to America. They say foreign women are like great white sharks. You know, you never seen a great white in an aquarium. You see whales, you see dolphins, but you're like, how come I never seen a great white? Because great whites can't live in captivity no more than like a couple months, then they always die. They only could live in a natural environment. So it's the same thing with the foreign woman. She only could vibe and live in her natural environment. As soon as you take her out of her environment, she dies like that frog in Puerto Rico. As soon as you take that frog out of, I forget the name of it, you bring it to another land, that shit gonna die, right? So it's the same thing. The foreign woman will die. She will be destroyed if you bring her out of her environment and put her on the soils of America. You know, so to have children is a curse. They slow you down. They talk back. They bug the fuck out. They come out slow as hell. They rebellious. It's a strong chance they not going to be with Yahabashim. You could try to raise them, but it's not who you want. It's who the Lord want. I mean, I seen brothers try to raise their kids up under the. I ain't hating. I wish the best for brothers, but I seen this numerous times. Try to raise them up under the word. They get older. They like, I ain't off of that shit. You force that shit on me. You know, I'm not down with that no more. And some of them turn into homos. Some of them, you know, they just bug the fuck out, man. And to have kids is a sacrifice. To get married is a sacrifice. And men be living good. Men be traveling. Men be, you know, living life, fishing, hunting, working on their hobbies, working on themselves, building themselves in the Lord. So to get a woman and to have a kid is a sacrifice you make, and it actually slows your life down from what you was planning to do or building your things up. Now you can still pursue these things, but it's like now you're running this race with shackles on your feet. When before it was a lot easier. Even the best of the women, right? Not even these headache holes. Even the best of the woman was a lot easier. Was a lot easier to deal with, Salakia. So I'm gonna get this Luke 23:29. I grab it out the KJV. For behold, the days are coming which they shall say, blessed are the barren, and the wombs that never bear, and the paps that never gain suck. Right? So, and that's just a woman. So imagine a guy, right? So if you a man, like my record is 38-0. You know what I mean? So, meaning I'm 38 years old with no children. Some brothers' record is 40-5 or whatever, right? So we be joking around with that. I'm 38-0. For now, I'm remain undefeated. You know what I mean? Because how do women conquer you? Mainly through marriage and through children, especially with children. It's a trap, baby. You know, a lot of times, you know, just like going back, trap babies ain't nothing new. Just like going back to Jacob. You know, Leah tried to hit him with a trap baby to get him to love him more, like how he loved Rachel. So that was always around. You know, but marriage, you could get rid of these hoes, you know, with marriage. But once you have a kid with them, it's like you gotta see them for and deal with them for the rest of your life. And my advice, how things going, paternity fraud is running at 40%. You know, how things going, you have a baby, you get a DNA check. A lot of these babies not even your fucking kid, man. You know? A lot of states making them have it like at birth because paternity fraud running at 40%. It's such a heinous crime. And guess what? The 40% is. It's not dudes saying, give me a DNA test. It's dudes trying to travel or move their family to another country. They find out that way. Or they find out like, oh, they needed a kidney or they needed some type of transplant. They needed a blood transfusion. So they, you know, they're like, oh, it's okay. It's my son. My son's willing to do it. And that's that's the 40% way they finding out. And that's scary. So what men are doing, they packing up. They going to these other countries. They dealing with the foreign women. And my advice, don't go into these foreign cities because they mimic behind Babylon. But, you know, go into the rural areas, they learn in the areas. There's some of them even staying over there. You know, they working remotely because remote work is back now. They taking their laptops and their computers and they going over there with the US dollar. They staying over there. They dealing with the foreign women. So, hey, man, Jeremiah 16:2, you know, hey, the Lord kind of, you know, I told you there. He ain't actually say be a passport bro, but he was just like, yo, that life ain't what it is in Babylon. You know, it's going to come a time in this place where, you know, seeking a family is going to be very, very risky, and very destructive. You know what I mean? And it's going to add a whole lot of fucking hell on you. Where originally it brought a lot of peace and a lot of happiness. That's all a man wanted, was to have a wife, have some kids, and that would suffice him. But not no more. You are taking a risk, and you are basically committing financial and emotional suicide. And with that, shalom.